Good morning. How you doing, Justin? Go ahead and get started while we wait for everybody to join in. So you're looking at Riot and Bitcoin this week with the Coinbase IPO. Yes, we had the same. Great weather. Had my daughter's birthday party Saturday, so that's why we didn't do our coffee and stock sessions on our Saturday this week. Had family in town. All that good stuff. Enjoyed it. Getting my mic situated real quick. Excuse the noise. Let's have a gander. I like Riot right now. Sitting on that EMA right now. It needs to stay at these levels. But you do have some support if it continues to break down. Let's see, right around here. 39.13s if it even makes it that far down. Makes it that far down, excuse me. Let's look on the 4 hour. Identify our key levels real quick. Yep, like it. Looks like it's since had resistance around the 67, 79s, but has made it as far as 83.99. So that'll be our mid-level here to pay attention to. It's about a $16 gain if we retest those levels. We saw a lot of buying volume come in on Friday and after hours. I'm pretty sure same thing in preparation for the Coinbase IPO coming out this week. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Give me that back. Where are my colors? There they are up there. Okay. Make that one blue. These one orange. And our top line, of course. So you have about a $16 spread if you're looking at doing calls on this. I like it for the most part. Looks good. Pull that out. Check the lower time frames. Yeah, we're about midway within that channel between the 39 and the 67. Been trading sideways for the most part in that. Pretty sure this is due to Bitcoin trading sideways for the most part. I haven't looked at Bitcoin this morning, so we'll definitely have a peek at that going into today to see where we're at. Get this thing where I need it. There we go. So we're riding off that longer term growth trend from the beginning of January, or I would say midterm more than anything. Good morning, Justin. How are you doing? Well, not. So that's another thing, man. Like, I know it gapped up this morning about $1 or two, but you have to consider a 3-day theta versus the delta that you would have received off of buying calls on Friday, right? Whereas getting in where it's at and just being prepared for this week, and what's going on in the crypto space of the stock market, um, you'll still win. If you think it's still going up, you'll be all right. Take what you get. Don't be greedy about it, and lower your risk. That's the ultimate mission. I'm sharing the. If you guys would, I see we have a few people in here. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. It's our coffee and stock sessions. We are going to be changing up our schedule. From here on, I will be doing coffee and stock sessions from 7:15, 7:20ish, maybe 7:30ish at the latest. That's Central Time, up until about 7:45, 8 o'clock. And from there, we'll switch over from the YouTube live stream to our Discord voice call that we've been having every week. That'll go until at least from 8 to 8:15 up till about 8:45, 9. Unless I have the ability to stay on the call and keep the call running. That portion of it is going to be mainly for our small account challenge and making our calls throughout the day. Of course, had a bad week myself last week, and have a lot of recovering to do this week. So I'm ready to do that. Still thinking that the markets are pretty peaked out, to my opinion, but correlation that I missed over the past few weeks is that the fact that the QQQ has been breaking its midterm trend and moving higher, that's allowed the SPY to pick up. And then the DXY is currently at a key level of support that if it breaks that, then stocks do have the ability to pick back up even higher than where they're currently at. Specifically the Q. The IWM's trading kind of weird right now, but let's pick that up. What is it? DXY? Yes. So I'll be paying attention to that going into today on whether or not I'm going to be doing calls or if I'm preparing myself to actually do puts on the markets again this week, because the SPY is at a level from a TA standpoint of coming back and doing that $10 to $15 retracement that it typically does when we go overbought, on the 4 hour, which is why I went into the week last week with consistent puts, waiting for that pullback. Took some losses there, but expecting to make some better gains when that occurs, and if it occurs this week. So I'll be paying attention to that today. Expect the markets to open up higher. We were at a -3 this morning. We're still at a -3 on the overall score. I still have not heard back from TDA or Ameritrade regarding the API issues I'm having in order to incorporate the DXY into the this trading log that we have here. And I could have swore that I tracked it this morning, but apparently I didn't. So we'll start here. And it's about 7:30 anyways. I do it at every half hour increment, or in the middle of every hour going into the end of the day. If you would, though, thank you for joining us on the live stream. If you're new here, thank you for coming. This is our coffee and stock sessions. I want to look at the stocks you guys want to look at here. That's what I want to dedicate this time to. So I know Justin's already talking about Riot and the Coinbase IPO coming out this week. All I ask you to do in return is simply share this with other investors and traders that may be interested in doing so. From there, we'll continue talking about this Bitcoin IPO. This Coinbase IPO. I wanted to look at Bitcoin itself. We're sitting right above 60K. I want to pull that up so we can kind of dig in a little bit more. See what our momentum looks like. Seeing a lot of consolidation at these 60K levels. We've hit these levels before and found resistance. I want to see if we have the momentum to keep pushing above that 61,700 and push higher. That'll bring up all your crypto plays with it. And as far as key levels that I would pay attention to, we're already retesting those all-time highs for the for Bitcoin. And we've been, for the most part, since the beginning of the year, trading between 42,000 and 61.7. And right now we're retesting that 61.7 level, finding some shorter term resistance. We might have the momentum, though, still in play. to continue pushing up, although volume is slowing down a little. uh, I would watch out for that. Making calls on any crypto plays in the stock market. um, Currently trading between that 58K to 61.7. If you can find it at that 58K level and then get your calls going there, that'd be great um, for your crypto plays. So like Riot, Mara, DPW even. What else? I have a whole list I'm not looking at for some reason. Riot, we were looking at it earlier. It's currently trading between its 39.13 and 67.69 level, and we're finding some middle support around the 48.36s. So definitely something to watch for there. If it gets below those levels, definitely a buy zone for long-term hold, or buy zone for your contracts to pick up calls on it. But right now it's currently on this growth trend coming from the beginning of December, or well, excuse me, mid-January, beginning of February, and picking up. So I want to see if it keeps that strength moving forward, or if it's going to pull back and retrace back to those $39 levels, even if it breaks below 48.36. So Mara, let's have a look at her. Pretty much same growth trend here that I'm seeing just off the top without even looking at the technicals behind it. Let's have a look. So from there to about right there, I would even be more comfortable with sitting it right here. Have some, shorter dips right here, but for the most part, we've respected this trend. If we weren't going to respect it, we would have traded underneath it for the most part, moving higher, continuing to move higher. But looks like it's kind of forming a channel to this degree. Somewhere up in there. If I can get it to stick. And then this is something else to also pay attention to. Is that level there, because really I was trying to get right here. Get up there. Alright. So, yeah. We had some breakouts. I'm pretty sure this is when Bitcoin may have broken out. Let me add that in here so we can see if that's what it was. It called the spikes there, if it may have been some catalysts elsewhere. So yeah, we had some pickups here, and another dip and pickup there. So small moves in Bitcoin causes large moves in these crypto plays. That's why everybody likes them. I like them as well. I haven't played any of them. I don't believe I've played any of these, at least Riot and Mara. I know that Dylan from Investors Talk was riding Mara calls. I think Justin had some Riot calls last week. And for the most part, has done well on those. Let's look at our crypto plays. We have SPRT, $5 stock, pretty cheap. Looks like it's going into a consolidation trend just from looking at it. Fell back to the 38s, even further than that to the 23s. If you flip it around, it would have been the 78 and the 61s, but whatever. Has not hit that 50% retracement level. I was watching this going forward, and that's the trend that I was looking for. It pretty much respected it on the pullback. Now we're reversing to the pickup, and you can kind of follow it along that trend there. Let's go in and do our levels real quick. I'll leave that one there. So 836 is what I would pay attention to. I know it's picked up a little bit higher than that, around the 947s, but we created a new level of support right about there, around the 425s, currently about 75 cents, 82 cents to be exact, higher than that. And I want to go in a little bit lower to see what other levels of resistance we may have ran into with this one specifically. I actually don't know any of the fundamental information on this company, so I'm going to go ahead and look over here, see what we got. SPRT, to see how the company is performing overall, just to kind of give you an idea of what type of company it is and everything. So course, issues. I cannot type on here for some reason. I'm switching up my setup so that I can lower the processing power that I'm using on this, and now this one wants to give me issues. Let me see. Change this to 2. Change my watch list. Let's see. Give me just a second, guys. Switch to watch list. Switch to live news. On what I'm looking at on my watch list. You're not getting in your own Discord? Yes. I'm not sure if you saw my message in the general chat, but we will be doing a live stream from 7:15, 7:30 at the latest, depending on how my schedule works, till about 7:45, 8 o'clock, because of the new schedule I'll be working off of. Sent a message out to everybody this morning, so I don't know if they read it or not. This is the question. GME below 50? Okay. We can have a gander. Have a look. I want to see the money volume, and I want to see the percent change. Do that. So one thing I want to point out, the VXX is seeing about 494 million in transactions this morning, and typically when that's at the top of my list, we start to see retracements in the market. So of course the SPY is still sitting at 410.75, the Q is sitting at 336, IWM is currently at 222.42, and the DXY is actually, good morning Rich, how you doing? The DXY, I see that, Jeff. DXY is currently sitting at a very key support level that I'm looking to see if it's going to break. If it breaks down, then I expect it to really jolt down beyond the support level. It defined the support level on the 8th of April. And this is looking at it on the 4-hour trend. Microsoft may continue its run a day. Be careful with puts. Yeah, I'm not looking at puts because DXY is looking at pulling back below the support level that it found last week, and if it does, then it'll really come down. That'll allow the Q to pick up, which will allow assistance into the SPY picking up even higher than where it's at. So yeah, I'm not really looking at puts, and I said that our game plan going into the end of last week was, if DXY pulls down, markets are going to go higher. Then we're doing calls going into the day on the SPY, and then vice versa. If we saw a pickup elsewhere. Another thing I want to pay attention to, though, with that being said, and I know we kind of got off track off of our cryptos. We'll come back to them in just a second. The VIX is back up above $18, which is not anything spectacular in my opinion. If I was using the VIX for any type of indicator at this point, it would be, it's actually back down to 17, but I think at its peak this morning it was at like 18 something. I would want to see it back above that $20 level. For the most part, we pulled back to levels that we haven't seen since pre-pandemic. So kind of eased out there. Volatility's low. Still holding IWM puts. What's your strike on it and expiration, Jeff? But yeah, for the most part, I'm looking for potential slight dip. I did notice that there was a very the volume has been decaying for the most part on the SPY. On the daily chart, I believe, as you can see, we're getting down to these low volume levels. And I was trying to go in here and look at when we had a spike like this, like right here in this area, but we were going in the opposite direction. Now we're going higher, so I can't really use that as a determination. But this is what stood out to me, And we should have already pulled back if that was going to be the case, which we kind of did. So I think we're going to have free reign to continue to run. Like I said, DXY is currently working on breaking that 416, 218 break even. Understood. So looking at the DXY on the 4 hour, you'll notice this support level right here, and that's what's standing out to me the most. We developed that support on the 8th, and for the most part, we have, I think, since retested it, or it's right around the 91.99. So let's see where we're at in there on momentum, and if we're gonna break down. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna break down below those levels. I mean, we're only a few pennies away from it. So if that happens, then I expect the markets to pick up and continue pushing higher. I'm not going to do puts until I see a reversal in the DXY. And to go ahead and, identify my key levels for the DXY, would be, next level would be right here that I would pay attention to, around the 91.36. And if it finds its support there, then it would actually start creating what you call a head and shoulders, which means it'll peak out and probably drop out again, unless once it starts to create the next shoulder, it takes off. It's typically what you see. So for the most part, we're breaking below the 180, which you guys know I have issues trusting the 180 on TradingView at this point, because it seems I need to find a better indicator. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Are there any other stocks you guys want to look at while we get ready to wrap this up? Let me know in the chat. School? No. I mean, you need to get ready. We have about another 7 minutes before we have to go. Okay. So I've still been keeping track of our coffee and stocks list. For the most part, what I noticed is most of the stocks that have been up have been the only ones that have stayed up and running, so I'm not going to run through them again. BCTX has always been at the top of the list. It seems like LDI I haven't seen really much. ACB, for the most part, has been picking up a little bit, but still at $8.98 ranges, so I'm not really concerned about it. Palantir has not moved, pretty much. I mean, it's just popped up, what, $1, $2, and that's about it. So let me have a look at it, see what we're looking like on momentum. It looks like we're trying to curve up here. So maybe this is the week that we start seeing some performance out of you, for you guys that have Palantir. But like I said, still hadn't really done much. PYR looks like it's landing on an EMA on the daily, rounding off to verify that. All the additional indicators had earnings on the 31st of March, so maybe it's consolidated from there. We can look at the 4 hour on it. It's pretty much picked up very well, to say the least, and held up is a question. So it's not loading now. Okay, here we go. Let's see right here. Actually, I'm going to use these levels for my, yeah, so we're sitting right at the 50. Look for support right here and bounce higher. If it does bounce higher, we can identify some levels for y'all. If it would load. No, I don't want to restart. I think this may have had like a ticker change or just hit the markets, because on here it's showing that March 12th, 2021, but if you go to the daily, it goes all the way back. So I'm not sure here. But if we break below that 50, be careful for it to pull back to the 484s. It's about $2 down from where it's at in pre-market. 160 if you want to be precise. But look for it to pull back there and find support before it moves forward. But for the most part, it seems like it's getting some strong support here. Selling volume's dying off. Buying volume's been plateaued for the most part. So definitely keep an eye on that if I was in this. We have Intel, Pfizer, of course, CGC, Cannabis Growth Company. It's up 1 point. And these are all percentages from last Friday, by the way. So, ticker change. Yeah, I thought so. From the looks of it. This is actually hitting a key level to watch for. Right around the 28.95s. It's currently above that level pre-market. About 3 pennies, so this could definitely pick up. Let me look on the lower time frame. Yeah, and I like it here. Unless that swing is going to cause too much momentum to the downside as it's been trading below the EMAs, or it could gap up and fill that space between the EMAs, tap them and come down. Looks like when it does gap up, it'll hit that 34 EMA before it retraces, so you might have a second opportunity, catch a swing on the trade back to the $30-31 levels before it does retrace and retest those 28.95s and continues moving down. So pay attention to that moving forward if you are looking to get into it or you already are into it, unless you're holding it long term and you don't care. PDAC, another stock that looks like it's rounding pretty well on the 4 hour. Let me check the daily. Busting through EMAs there. Key level of resistance right where it's at. Ran into this resistance back on November 27th. I'm sitting right at that level, right on top of it for the most part. Okay. And then the 1 hour. Yeah, we've been trading underneath that support level. I would have hoped to stay above it for the most part. But it looks like it's trying its best to break back above it, find support above it, and keep pushing. Look a little lower. Starting to see an EMA crossover is what I call this, green piece. But we saw that before and it faked out and then broke down on us about 30 cents, so not much. But looks like it's trying to push higher above it right now. OEG was another stock that performed well for us back in February, I believe. I did a trade on this, quick in and out. I think it was a day trade on some options. As soon as it was brought to our attention, and for the most part, it stayed in that channel that we were paying attention to. We were looking forward to find support above the 569. It did not do that. It did keep support above the 489 and has since seen some resistance right around those 657s. Retested it here. My charts killing me, Smalls. How fitting to have my shirt. Anyways, so it looks like it's having some shorter term resistance around the 611s even. So I see something else that stands out to me, and that's this. Even more so to this degree. If we were to look at it like that, it broke down there, tapped that level, riding along it again, right at 528 this morning. So 657, that's about 130. Gives you about 528 to 130, about 20 to 25% jump on it. last one I'll look at is BP, which is for the most part respected this trend, and it looks like it's currently developing a channel here somewhere. Where is it? Right there. So midway in that channel, it could go either direction, but for the most part, the lower time frames looks like it's trying to pick up and retap these 44.90s to $45. As far as I want to give you guys, for everybody that's sat here with me, something that hit my scanner alert today was APHA, Afria, and we've seen about 171 million go into the stock pre-market, and it looks like it is up. We had earnings on the 12th, which was last earnings today. So I would like to see what happens with earnings. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out if it was earnings pre-market or looks like they have already reported it. And their revenue was up 154 million versus 144 million in the previous year for Q1 revenue. That's in Canadian dollars as well, but trading lower after the company reported Q1 revenue. Let me look on a lower time frame real quick to make sure the pre-market's kicked in right. Yeah, so it pulled down from about the 16.29s, about $1.16, give or take. Some people might find this as a buying opportunity, but I would wait to see how it opens up in the market to see if it's going to swing back to the upside first. Alright guys, 7:57. Thank you for joining the live stream on YouTube. Like I said, we will be reconvening on our Discord call. If you're not a part of that Discord community, I will add a link to the chat. You're more than welcome to join us. It's free. For the most part, I think we have members that are already in the Discord in there. If you are a member, as always, please feel free to share this. I think this is going to be how I will do this moving forward. Once again, we'll be doing 7:15 to 7:45, 8 o'clock on the YouTube live stream, and then from 8:15 to about 8:45, 9 o'clock on the Discord call, and doing our small account challenges, sharing more information on potential trades. I like doing that after because my scanners will kick in on the market open, and we can kind of see what's going on. But other than that, thanks for joining this morning. Hope we were able to get ready for the week a little bit. I know a lot of people didn't have any stocks to talk about apparently. I'm not sure if you are not looking at them or what may be the case, but I do want to get back into that mindset where we're looking at the stocks you want to look at for stocks and coffee and stocks, and then go into the stocks that I'm looking at based on how the markets are reacting in the Discord call. So I think I'm going to do it that way moving forward. But otherwise, thank you and I'll be talking to you guys soon. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe and also join our Discord that I just shared a link to in the description.